All right. Phoenix.
Mystic, good evening.
I thought we don't have test session for the next gen cars.
We don't. Why?
Go look at my stream.
I just had it up. Don't ask me.
Do you see it?
I see it.
I think you can test. Sorry, I think you can, but you just can't do it with no setup.
Yeah, I think I
That's
looked at
correct.
that when I first downloaded. You
Yes.
get in there, but it's all on a
Okay.
slider.
Right. It's all on a
I
slider.
was about to lose my mind. I was about to say, don't
Yep.
tell me we've done all that.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys just tuning into the stream? Welcome. Apologize for that. We was losing our mind. It's been a long night.
What did you get a concussion tonight, or are you good?
I'm all right, man. I didn't get caught up in the chaos.
Cool. I got hit, but made it through. So,
But man, oh man, what a night it was. We have a ton to talk about tonight, and Phoenix, I don't know where to start. Two dual races set the field tonight. We had 18 registered in both dual races tonight. We had a few that did not show tonight due to other obligations. That's okay. The action was still through the roof. 15 started in dual race number 1. We had 12 in dual race number 2, and there was a lot of folks who the nerves are really high for those guys. They had to race their way in, and you know how these super speedway races go, Phoenix. You've been on both sides of it. I've been on both sides of it. You never know how they're going to play out. I don't know how to describe it. Both dual races were a little different. We saw dual 1 was a little bit more calm up until the end. It did get a little wild there at the end, kind of a sprint to the finish, if you will. Dual race number 2, those guys weren't holding back, Phoenix.
no, not at all. I mean, but to be clear, the only guys who were locked in to their starting spots were the pole sitters in both duel number 1 and duel number 2. In the first one, where we have 6 guys with provisionals, so
Yes.
no matter where they ended up, they were going to have a spot in the 500. So that left what, 6 spots to race for?
Yes.
And we had some good racers, didn't we? Who we had racing for those spots starting out?
Now, in dual race number 1, those drivers in duel number 1, Curdy led the way to start the night in duel number 1. Now, he was on the pole regardless of where he finished, since he did qualify there. So, no matter how his night went, he was guaranteed to start on the pole for the Daytona 500. He was the only one that's really locked into his position.
And a great job getting there, so good job.
Yes, great job by his lap time. The only one in the 44-second bracket. We did go over the full qualifying times, I believe, in episode number 2 this past Sunday. Now, the drivers with provisionals in duel number 1 were Adam Dabbs, S4G Mystic, Kime Time, Ricky LaFleur, Phoenix, and HT3. Those drivers were locked into the 500, weren't locked into their positions. They were racing for positions, but no matter what they did in the first duel, they were locked into the show based on 2023 driver standings. The rest of the field, they had to race, and I believe we had, I think, 9 drivers. When it was all said and done, 8 or 9 drivers. I think it was 8. 8 drivers that were racing for 6 spots. Now, there wasn't no set finishing position that you had to be in. You just had to finish in the top 6 of the drivers that weren't already locked in. So 8 drivers had to race their way in. That means you had to beat 2 drivers.
But what's the best way to get in the race?
Go out there and win the race.
Win it.
Win the race, just like any other race. And we saw the 1-car S4G Mystic lead early on. He led the first 9 laps. I believe the 77 of Curdy missed a shift on the initial start, but it got cleaned up, and the 1 snuck his way to the race lead and led the first 9 laps, and then it was inherited by the 41 Gaming Legend, who took over. And Phoenix, you were in that duel. What was it like racing in that one?
Well, first, let's give Chris credit due. Chris won one of the Speed Weeks races, right? So he earned the way into the duel, right? But he had to race his way in, right? That's how it was. He was going to be part of it. So here he is. I started near him. We were back like in the 5th row, so like 10th, 11th. We started the race, and already after 10 laps, he's up in the lead, taking the lead from you, who started a little bit further forward than the rest of us. So that was an impressive move right off there, and 10 laps into the race. The beginning was a little chaotic because of the missed shift. It shuffled everything up, inside, outside, and then we got single file, and we were running. You got the lead from that, and we were running pretty calmly. And then about 7-8 laps in is when Chris led that run up front, and quite impressively too.
And as Phoenix was saying, it was pretty calm. You see the outside row kind of peek out every now and then, but not like we've seen towards the end of Speed Weeks and then the Coca-Cola Shootout. Everyone kind of mellowed out for the majority of the race. We had a few drivers that lost the lead pack, but everyone would kind of mind their piece for the majority of the race. And when we got down to crunch time, the 41 continued to show the way, and boom! The mysterious caution flag came out. What caused that caution there again?
I don't really know. Somebody got sideways in front of us and got across my nose, but cars were going all over the place.
Yeah, so we had 5 cars in that caution.
Yeah, I was just avoiding.
The 45 time lagged.
That was right. He lagged it. I saw some movement in front because I was behind you and behind somebody else. But you came across my nose, getting caught up in that, and everybody that was in the middle of turns 1 and 2 as we were going through there, and so it was just chaos. I made it through, but I don't know what I did to you, but that's the concussion I think I was mentioning before because I hit you right in the driver's door. But yeah, and we were kind of calm. But the one thing about this race, and also in the second race to more of an extent, it was we were more respectful, but there was a lot of shoulder bumping, if you know what I mean. It was a little bit rougher style of racing getting there, probably because the guys that are racing in felt the pressure, if you know what I mean.
So that caution right there was single-digit laps to go. That brought out a manual caution, that is, and we didn't get the restart until coming to 3 laps to go. It was a shootout. We had one driver that was a driver that had to race their way in. I believe it was, who was a lap down? The 15. The 15 and the 18 were both a lap down. It was Daytona in the 15 and the Ritter in the 18. The Ritter was in the caution, so he couldn't take the free pass, but he stayed out and got the wave around. Daytona wasn't in the caution, so he got the free pass. So that put everybody back on the lead lap. So now it was a whole new race, 3-lap shootout.
And we only had 2 retirees, so that was 13 going for the race win, essentially.
At this point, one driver was out, so you didn't want to be in the back. And it was coming down to the 15 and the 18 there. They were really shuffling. One line would go, the next line would go. It was going to be a humdinger of a finish. And then contact, we still didn't see what happened with the 5 of D. Allison.
No, I haven't.
He
had
went
chance
around coming to the
that.
white flag, and that's really what ended the night there. So ultimately, the 2 cars that didn't transfer that started duel number 1 were D. Allison. And I got to go back and check. Hold on. The 5 of D. Allison and the 11 of Beastly Pac-Man. Beastly Pac-Man, he lagged out early on after just 2 laps of completion. So those are the 2 cars that did not transfer from dual race number 1. We had 3 drivers that registered that did not start. That was the 19 of Wildmanberg, the 51 of Rick Niner, and the 10 of Spence. But it was a wild finish. I hate the 5 of D. Allison
Yep.
went around there because that was going to be. I really didn't know who was going to get in. I did not know.
Well, on that last couple laps there, I had laid back and I got a real good run coming through 1 and 2, and I pulled out, and no one went with me. It's good I had a provisional, so I went to the back. But when when it got real exciting was off of turn 4 to the checkered flag. Wow, did they have a 3 wide, 2 wide cars bouncing off each other? It was a cool finish, and Chris held them off. Kudos to
Gaming
him.
Legend held him off to lead the final 31 laps in dual race number 1, and it was a great performance. He's really getting comfortable out front leading. This is a big wave of momentum for him. We got him here with us now. Gaming Legend, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
First of all, congratulations on your dual number 1 win. I know you won last week, a Speed Weeks event. You said you wanted a little bit more now. You want to start winning some of these races. You got the dual race. I know this doesn't classify as an actual win in the official season yet, but still, a little bit more now, since this one had a little bit more at stake tonight. How good was that race car tonight? Was this the same car that you won the Speed Weeks race last week with?
Oddly enough, no. I went back to the setup that I ran Tuesday, and I believe I finished about mid-pack after an incident. So, no, it was a different setup. Well, same setup, just different day.
You mentioned to me before tonight that you did kind of want to be a little bit more on the aggressive side. If you was around a lot of guys that had provisionals, you really wasn't going to push the issue, but you wasted no time. Starting 10th tonight, you was in the lead by lap 9.5, and you really showed the field, just like you did last week when you led all 40 laps. You are very comfortable, probably your most comfortable position when you are out front leading the pace. A lot of drivers can't say that at the super speedways. They like to ride and then make their move at the end. You are really comfortable out front. Why is that?
I just feel like if I'm out front, I guess it depends. Like depends what people like. If I got, I don't know, certain people behind me that I know I can trust, yeah, I'll go out there and lead. But we just saw the opportunity to take the lead when me and the 45 of Kind Time was working pretty well together, and the inside line was, I don't know, not really together. They were kind of moving back and forth on the inside lane that wasn't working together, kind of like what we saw in Duel 2. But I just took the run on the outside. I knew Kyle would go with me, and when we got out front, we did like we did last Thursday. We just said to ourselves, we can go dominate another one. And that's exactly what we did. So, and that caution at the end wasn't very timely, but we held them off. So, and I knew I had some people on that inside lane that I knew I could trust again. But we just when we got out front, we just told ourselves we can go dominate another one.
So I'll ask you one more question before Phoenix, if he has anything. So I know you're a rookie. I know you're trying to get called up to speed with everything. You're doing a great job, by the way. How much have you learned in your short time this season, and even the handful of races you ran at the end of 2023? And a part 2 to this question, how much is trust going to be a factor on Sunday in the Daytona 500? Because we've seen the fastest cars, and fast doesn't mean anything in these long races. How much is finding your friends going to be a factor? Because yes, leading the pace is nice, setting the pace is nice, but at the end of the day, you have to be there to win the race at the end of these things, and 500 miles is a long way.
I think, like I said before, the other day, it'll be a big factor. But I think at the end, maybe the friends won't be a biggest factor, because if me and somebody else I wouldn't normally trust, or a couple other guys I normally wouldn't trust, to go with me are sitting 5th and 6th or 7th or however many of cars there is, I don't think they're going to ride, so maybe I can get that. Maybe they will go with me at that point. But early on, And pit stops, if the pit stops do end up being green flag, I think you're going to want to go somebody you trust. But we have a strategy for the 500. We'll just have to see it as it plays out. And, I mean, as long as we're there, now that we made the show, we got a chance to win it. So we couldn't say that 4 hours ago. So yeah.
I just have one question for Chris.
Yep.
So let me get this straight. You won here at Daytona in speed weeks, essentially same format, 40 laps, about the same number of cars on Thursday, and you used one setup that you won with on Thursday. So you're saying tonight you ran a different setup that you ran on Tuesday but didn't win with. Why did you decide to go with this particular setup instead of the setup that you won with already here at Daytona?
The Tuesday compared to Thursday setup, Tuesday was looser, so it could go the 40 laps, but my tires on the right side would be way lower than what they would be on Thursday. So it was just a difference in setups. So I knew this one would be good for the 40 laps. The other one is kind of a longer run and also has a save gear. The one I had tonight, it has a save gear, but not really a point of it because obviously it's only 40 laps.
Yeah, everybody could go without pit stop. So, okay, so basically it was just a feel thing? It comes down to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I feel like Tuesday's setup was a little faster overall in takeoff speed, and I thought it would get hairier than what it did, but it only got hairy around the last 5 laps. And we just wanted to take off speed versus getting it longer run speed.
Gotcha. Well, you did it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's Gaming Legend, winner of Blue Green Vacations dual race number 1 tonight. He will start 3rd for the Daytona 500 on Sunday. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So Phoenix, Duel 1 was a doozy. We thought Duel 1 really set the bar high. But man, Duel 2 came out of the gate swinging. And
we were wrong.
Duel 2, man, let's take you through the lineup for Duel number 2. That gentleman we just spoke to, his younger brother, Wade Gaming, led the field to the green for Duel 2. Like we mentioned about Curdy, and good drive for Curdy as well. Curdy fell back in Duel race number 1 and rebounded to a runner-up finish. So we'll give props to Curdy. We'll talk to Curdy here in just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
But Wade Gaiman led the field to the green in dual race number 2. Janklow started to his outside. The previous champion in the Cup Series last year, Story Square, was 3rd. So just to name a few in that duel. So the provisionals in that duel, besides Wade, since he was locked in the front row, Story Square, Grimm, One Fast Bean, and Parky Plunger. Just 4 provisionals compared to Duel 1-6. Now
that
the driver,
made, what, 1 or 2 more fighting for positions?
Well, we had less drivers show up, but still, it was hot and heavy. The drivers that had to race their way in were OG Janklow, Chad, Jack, Eddie, Track Bars, NASCAR Extreme, and Easy E. So that left about 7 drivers for 6 spots. So yes, you didn't want to be the odd man out. And unlike dual race number 1, from the green flag, the 4-car of Wade Gaming set the pace, but he didn't set it for long. By about lap 6, 7, he pulled out a line on the back stretch and went to the back. Why? You'll have to ask him. But it was on from there. It's from the rest of the race, nobody wanted to settle. You had people, when they got a run, they took it, and we had many different lead changes. I believe we had 6 or 7 different leaders in the second dual race, and only 2 lead changes in the first dual race, just to give you a little taste.
Yep.
So, and just like in dual race number 2, we had the mysterious caution inside 10 to go. I believe right on 10 to go. That caution came out in duel number 2.
Yeah.
It re-racked them and restacked them, and it helped the 24 car of Easy E get back on the lead lap and saved him.
We had 2 cars that were a lap down, right? And They were running with each other, and it was like, okay, until the caution came out.
Caution, I believe, whoever
finished in front of the other was going to be the one that got in the race. It was kind of, it was kind of interesting.
But
and
the
then
green
the caution
flag
came out and changed it.
The green flag came back out, and it was on. Nobody, they was already racing hot and heavy, and it's just like they turned the wick up another notch. We saw 3 wide action, door bouncing, and a little hurt feelings along the way, but that's just hard racing.
Yeah,
but,
some pushing, some shoving.
And unfortunately, it was a 12 of OG Jankalo, who started the race on the front row, get shuffled out of the draft when it was all said and done. And somehow, that field brought it to the finish. But Phoenix, let's talk about that finish. Let's talk about the finish.
Well, Wade had been shuffled back after the caution to about 8th. He wasn't looking really good on the restart. Too wide inside, but he was back there with some friends, and they started getting runs, and they didn't get too far, and then he got separated from his, we'll call them teammates, or the guys that he was working with, Chad and Story, and I wasn't thinking that it was going to be a very good finish with we're down to 3 laps to go. And it was looking not too good for Wade until, about a lap and a half to go? And then, what happened then?
Well, NASCAR Extreme was leading the charge, and he commanded the race there, and it looked like nobody could get a bite on the outside. They were trying over and over again, just like we always say. But
pace laps.
We've seen this in the next-gen car more so recently than really anything. You can't count them out, because just when you think it's over, that last moment is when that outside lane will connect. The 21 of One Fast Bean made the move right under 2 to go and barely cleared the 16 of NASCAR Extreme. We're all thinking, fans are cheering, we're looking, we're thinking, there's the race-winning move, because usually when somebody makes a move and clears him, that's the move.
And that was coming to what? 2 to go?
That was coming to the white flag. We just taken 2 to go. But if you guys have been around Mystic Racing League for the years that we've been around, if we're running a super speedway, you can't count out Wade Gaming. It doesn't matter where he is. It doesn't matter if the lead draft is 25 cars. If he's in it to win it. And here he comes from us all the way back, as I think outside the top 5, with help from...
He was 8th.
With the help from the 62, and I forgot, but mainly the 62 is the only one connected. And
at the end, but the 55 was with them on the get-go.
And he laid back, got a run off of turn 2 down the back stretch. Just them two were connected on 3 or 4 cars on the bottom who they weren't all connected, but not only him, but Chad, the 62, both cleared the 21 entering turn. It was absolutely textbook. If you missed it, you can go back and watch the end of Duel 2. You can go back and watch both duel races, but we didn't think they had enough steam to pull it off. We were like, if they're going to clear him, it's just going to be the 4. They both cleared him. They both, it's like when you get the puzzle piece and it fits so perfectly in there for the final piece. It literally looked just like it. Phoenix, I couldn't believe it.
Well, what's more is, as Wade moved up, it shuffled everybody that he passed to be like, oh, Wade is moving on the outside. So all of a sudden, it was like a huge wave. As he went forward, the wake got muddier and muddier. Cars started moving around to try to get ahead. They went to the outside. They went to the inside. They went to the middle. I think we had 1 or 2 cars made contact off of turn 4. It was like total chaos and really, really hard to follow. I was watching the middle and the back of the pack. I didn't even see what happened at the front. I had to rewatch it at the after the race finished. But it was something to see. I didn't know what was going to happen.
It was absolutely stunning. Wade and Chad both made the move, and they held off the field. Wade Gaming won dual race number 2, Chad second, and the rest of the field followed in an all-out thriller of a finish. If you didn't like that finish,
if you didn't watch it, you got to watch it.
I really don't know what to tell you.
There were 3 wide at the line when they crossed the line.
So, unofficially, or now officially, from dual race number 2, the 12 of OG Janklow did not race his way into the event. We had a few drivers that were registered that did not start. That would be the 31 of Stagslayer, the 9 of King Bear, the 7 of F1 Addict, the 20 of Ziggy, the 2 of Diligent, and at Tasgasm. Those are the drivers that did not qualify for the Daytona 500, along with OG
from
Janklow's.
202.
That's correct. Parky Plunger did finish last in dual race number 2, but he did have a provisional, so he is good. But man, both dual races were unbelievable. We have the winner of dual race number 2 here with us. Wade, do you have a copy?
Yeah, man.
Wade, a pretty special move on that last lap. We talked to you at the end of that race tonight, and you're just textbook at these types of things. You didn't count yourself out. You said you knew Chad was behind you. Did you figure the 21 was going to come up and block you there? He said he made that move in Speed Weeks, and it went bad. He didn't want to do the same thing again. What was going through your mind there when you took the white flag at the start-finish line?
I knew I had, the people behind me. I knew I had Chad behind me. I knew he was going to push me to, as hard as he could, even if nobody did go with us. I knew, like Bean said, he did wreck me in Speed Weeks because he came up and blocked. And if he would have done that, I practiced. If somebody was to do that, I practiced that move too, if that was to happen. But he didn't come up. I'm glad he didn't because we was rolling. So it was good. I'm glad I pulled Chad up there. Sucks that we left Story out, but yeah.
But that's a move that everyone's going to be talking about for the week before, or the weeks ahead, excuse me. But what makes you so good? Really, what goes through your mind at the end of these races? Is it go where everyone else doesn't go, or what? How do you get to the front? Because a lot of people really seem to put their eye on you at the end of these races. You come all the way back from 8th in a lap there to win that one. How do you do it on these super speedways?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think that run was gonna pull off, but I laid back enough to get that run, and I knew Chad was locked to me because he was pushing me when I was out of the throttle. It goes back to going on the outside. Yeah, it's probably on lap 4 out of 200 laps, but if somebody goes with you, you can probably expect that same person or multiple people to go with you at the end. So just a matter of where you're going to be at and where you can find your friends at the end.
One more question, and then I'll send it to Phoenix. It's a pretty special feeling knowing your big brother. He's now beginning his Mystic Racing League career. He won dual race number 1. You win the second one. How does that feel? It's got to feel pretty good.
It feels good. I know he wants to win it just as bad as I do, and probably for the same reason, but he got dual 1, so I mean, it is what it is.
Well, if anybody was going to pull off a move like that in the race, I would have put my money on Wade. We've seen Wade do things like this, things that even he thinks probably won't work, but you never know. And he keeps plugging away, he keeps trying, and like a handful of us, he knows how to read a situation, so he knows when his best shot is, and how to do that. When you made your move, Wade, the bottom line, after you started to move up a few spots, and you did have Story with you at the beginning, but I think he got lost when, as you moved by, you left chaos in your way. It was like nobody knew which line to be in, where to go, and it was like they all just kind of went for it, and that weakened the bottom line and actually helped you. Not to take anything away from your move, but that helped you get ahead and pull Chad with you if you rewatch that thing. But what were you thinking when you saw, as you were coming down on the last lap to the checkered flag? What were you thinking the most?
Just how to get to the front, and if Bean was to cut off our run, I practiced this move 1,000 times with Chad. I practiced it with Sturdy. It's just a matter if he would have came up, I would have either crossed him up, went low, or fake low and stay high.
Well, you said that before. I mean, what were you feeling as you pulled past them? You know, coming to the checkered flag.
Well, I knew there wasn't going to be enough time for if I wanted to lead those. If there was going to be no time for them to get a run. I mean, yeah, they got a small run coming to the line, but it wasn't going to be enough to do anything. It was just a matter of.
Did you start smiling then, or you waited?
Yeah, no, I did. I had Chad screaming in my ear.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, you did a tremendous job, Wade. You know, congratulations. And Chad too.
That was Wade Gaming, the winner of dual race number 2, a brotherly affair tonight. Both of them did a fantastic job. So Phoenix, both dual races were off the charts tonight. Probably, honestly, in my opinion, the best dual features we've probably had to kick off a season. I think we are in store for an amazing Daytona 500.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we had exciting moments in dual races. We had some exciting finishes, but the way these two went down definitely was a little bit above what we've had in the past. I don't know if it's the next gen cars or the group of guys that were racing, but I think we saw more racing in these two duels than we have in the past, which is very cool, you know, and looks forward to the Daytona 500 to be. I look at the Daytona 500 to be a mix of the two duels because it's such a long race, you know, 200 laps, to be like duel 1 for a time, and then at times we're going to switch into duel 2 mode. You know, that's what I'm looking at, you know, but it's going to be exciting, and if you're not in it, you got to watch it. But we got other stuff, don't we?
That's absolutely right. We got a lot more this week. Give me 1 second. Before we get any further, let's go ahead and take you through that Daytona 500 starting lineup. Based off the dual finishes tonight. It has been finalized, so if you don't know where you're starting at, you're about to find out. 24 drivers will take the green Sunday afternoon for Mystic Racing League's 5th annual Daytona 500. That's hard to believe, ain't it, Phoenix? 5 years already.
Yep, Season 5 is already underway.
But let's go ahead and take you through it. Row number 12 will host on the inside Ricky LaFleur. On the outside, starting 24th, Parky Plunger. 22nd will be Kime Time. 21st will be Phoenix. Phoenix, 21st.
Oh, yeah.
Is 21 a lucky number for you?
Well, I'm pretty good at blackjack, so yeah, it could be.
It could be. It could be.
But yeah, that's par for my course. I have some friends back there this time. That should make a difference.
Starting 20th will be Track Bars. Starting 19th will be Daytona. Starting 18th will be the defending champion, Story Square. Starting 17th will be HT3, looking for his first Daytona 500.
Trey Dizzle.
Starting 16th will be Grim. Starting 15th will be Shady Acres. Starting 14th will be Eddie. Starting 13th will be S4G Mystic. Starting 12th will be Jack Ballsy. Jack, if you're still in the stream, you roll off 12th on Sunday afternoon. Starting 11th will be Parley. Starting 10th will be Easy E. Starting 9th will be The Ritter. Starting 8th will be NASCAR Extreme. Starting 7th will be TCR Bowhunter. Starting 6th will be One Fast Bean. Starting 5th will be Adam Dabbs. Starting 4th will be Chad. Starting 3rd will be Gaming Legend. And your front row for the 2024 Daytona 500 on the outside will be Wade Gaming, and on the pole will be Curdy. And that is your starting lineup for the 2024 Daytona 500. Sunday afternoon, green flags at 1:30 Eastern Time. Chat will open up at noon. We cannot wait. But we got more to cover tonight. We had, I believe, a season opener last night for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Let's talk about that, Phoenix.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. It was another racy race. For the most part, a lot of the guys that we've been racing the last 2 weeks with were in the race, and it was different than we had in the past. It was a lot harder to get the outside line of work in the trucks. I was almost thinking, as I mentioned to you, that it's easier to get an outside line for me, and you said the same thing tonight, in the 22 cars than it has been in the past with the other series cars or trucks. So it was a struggle. Working that outside line, you needed a lot of cars, a lot of trucks to pass.
So, in the Truck Series, we start 16 drivers each race. We had 20 drivers attempt last night to qualify, and you can expect it was a action-packed full field last night. And it came down to the very end. The first two stages were competitive, to say the least. Now, the big change in 2024 compared to the previous seasons, Mystic Racing League has changed the way stage points are awarded. No longer will the 6th through 10th place finishers in each stage be awarded stage points. Traditionally, like real-life NASCAR, first place through 10th place is awarded stage points. Now, beginning in 2024 for all three series in Mystic Racing League, 1st through 5th only is awarded stage points. So that tweaked on how aggressive the end of the stages got last night, wouldn't you say, Phoenix?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, those top 5 spots are now premium spots. And, we had, how many did we start last night? 15?
16.
16. So 16 and only 5 are getting points at the stage breaks. Well, you can imagine. A lot of people did not want to, just ride out the end of the race. And that's exactly what happened, is nobody rode it out. We were going all out at the end. And it was good, though. It was very competitive and a lot of side-by-side racing.
All right, I believe we have a copy on Curdy now. Curdy's in the stream. Curdy, you here?
Yes, sir.
Curdy, gonna get a quick word with Curdy. Want to make sure we got a copy on him. All right, Curdy's here. Curdy, want to get a word with you before you check out. Curdy, I know you've had a tremendous NASCAR Speed Weeks. You actually did a fantastic job. We cannot stop bragging on you. I know this means a lot from you.
Yep.
To you. Coming from a dirt guy. You said at the middle of last year you was really going to transition your focus to the NASCAR side and learn everything you can, and I think you have done a darn good job at it. Describe in a short answer, how much does it mean to be leading a stout field of drivers to the green in probably the biggest cup race of the year?
It's amazing. I couldn't believe it. I was working that setup. I absolutely was working my butt off on this, and it paid off. And I'm super excited. Can't wait. It's an honor. I'm just ready to go. Can't wait. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
So, what all have you learned with the next gen car, and what all have you tried? Was tonight the setup that you'll be running on Sunday, or are you still going to try some things to try to get a little better for Sunday?
I'm not gonna touch it. I like it where it is. It's stable. I'm can be anywhere. I actually just made a couple adjustments in the last 24 hours to work the high side a little better than I was. As you knew, I wasn't running the high side in a couple of these last races. I fixed that. It's stable everywhere, so I'm keeping it the way it is.
So 200 laps, 500 miles. I believe this is your first Daytona 500. What is the game plan, Curdy? It's a long race. Are you going to try to set the pace early, or just kind of if you get past, you're going to ride in line?
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna stay there. If I'm in the front, I'm in the front. If I get past, I'm just gonna ride it out. Make steady pit stops and try not to mess that up, and just stay on the lead lap. That's my goal.
Phoenix, you got anything, sir?
Oh, I like that plan. I'm all about that plan, because you can't win it unless you're up front at the end when the pay window opens. So yeah,
Right.
just stick with that lead lap. That is an awesome thing. Now we've been racing speed weeks since last Monday at Daytona, and you've had some really good races. I believe that Monday race, that first race, was a really good one for you. And you've had some rough races, including some stuff that happened tonight and the other night. What? I know you made some changes, you said it, but what kind of keeps you going that Sunday can be a positive thing? What did you learn over the last week and a half so far?
I mean, just talking with you guys tonight, staying off the bumpers in the corner. Just anything that I pick up out on the track. A lot of the things you guys are saying, I'm picking everything up, learning anything I can. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Yeah, think off the top of my head, but absolutely, there's a ton of things going on, and it's helped me tremendously. So yeah, paying attention is huge. Paying attention and listening to everybody around you is a huge deal.
I was telling Mystic the other night, we were talking because we've been talking about you on and off all week with how you've been, how you are this year compared to last year, and one of the things I said to him when he was doing the qualifying numbers, the times, the speeds, so it's like it kept getting lower and lower and lower and lower, and he's like, wow, Curdy is on the pole, and I'm like, well, I'm not really surprised after running with you, around you, nose to tail kind of thing, and I'm like, Curdy, I don't know, he got very smart this year. So if he put himself in the right spot to get that speed, because it was all about drafting speed, then man, he deserved that. Good job there.
Yeah, thank you.
So can you tell us about how that run came about? Do you remember it?
I do. When Wade was there, Wade, I think, must have hit some of the same speeds I was. I know I was watching my times before I got to that lap, and I remember hitting. I hit a 5.118, and then I hit an O. It was either an 008 or an 088. And I seen him getting down there, and
You're
then
talking
I
about
saw that
45-0, right?
45s, yeah. I'm looking
Yep.
at the fives, yeah. So, and then I saw that 4 come up, and I was like, huh. And I kind of, when I'm looking at it, I don't look at the whole number. That's why I'm saying the 4 or the 5.
Right. Oh no, yeah. After 200 miles an hour, you're not saying, what did I hit?
Right. So
yeah, that could be
then
bad.
I started flipping back through, but I mean, I remember, yeah, we were on the backstretch, and we all got kind of spread apart, and that's what helped us get that run. And I know Wade was behind me, and I remember seeing speeds of like 214. It was like 213, 214. So we were hauling for sure.
Did you think when you saw the 44, did you think that would be the pole time?
No, I didn't. I didn't know that even close. You can go back on the stream and you'll hear me say it. And it was no big deal.
And what? Yeah, what night was that? Because that was kind of
the Thursday. That was the third night.
Thursday. So we had a whole other night of times.
Yes, because I was nervous as hell that day. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you did a great job. And following Wade for a fast time is a very smart move. If he was leading that pack or in that pack.
No, I think he was behind me, following me. He had dropped to the back. He was following me, and I was following a bunch of draft that everybody was catching up on, and kind of like what he did earlier to take the win. It was the same type deal. Everybody got spread out, and we just followed that draft. Right up.
You follow that draft right to the pole. Excellent job.
Purdy, I got to ask you one more question. We'll let you go for tonight. In all seriousness, be honest. How much would it mean to you if you were able to pull off a win on Sunday?
It would be huge. That would be a huge deal. Absolutely. We have some of the best racing. And
would that be where would that rank in terms of your all-time league wins?
That'd be at the top. First win in NASCAR, first win at Daytona. Yeah, that would be at the very top. That would be a 10.
First win in MRL.
Right, yeah.
Well, Curdy, you've done an awesome job. You put yourself in position. 200 laps. We wish you the best of luck, my friend. Great job.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Good job, Curdy. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Good job, Curdy.
You too.
Thanks, guys.
So Phoenix, back to what we were saying. Yeah, the movie on Curdy is going to be Dirt to Daytona. I like that. That's a great name.
It's awesome. Perfect. It's just perfect.
So back to the truck race. We started 16 drivers last night, Tuesday night. It's now Thursday, so we'll say Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And it was an action-packed race throughout tonight. I believe the first 2 stages went green flag, and at the end of them, it got wild of people jockeying for positions.
Well, my experience quickly was couldn't get anywhere in the first stage. Made some runs, ended up in the back, so totally out of the points and stuff. And then I said, you know what? It's so hard to pass. I knew I didn't have to pit, so I stayed out, and I started off leading the second stage, and I was fixing to win it. And then, guess what happened, Mystic?
What happened?
Wade happened. Because Wade figured out how to get past me coming down. What was it? 2 or 3 laps to go there.
He's good.
And he edged me out. And I went from first to third at the checkered flag. But he did a great job.
I think it's ironic we talk about our duel winners tonight. Duel 1 was Gaming Legend, the older Wade brother. Duel 2, Wade Gaming, the younger Wade brother. The winner of the first stage on Tuesday in the truck race, Gaming Legend. The winner of Stage 2 in the truck race on Tuesday, Wade Gaming. So it's kind of a theme here, Phoenix.
Yeah, they're fast.
They're very fast. But they didn't win when it mattered. The winner of Tuesday night's truck race, well, we thought it was going to be Ricky LaFleur. It came down to a fuel mileage race because we had 2 quick cautions to start the final stage. And it really stretched some brain cells and some crew chiefs. Should we go for it? Because a lot of drivers were really thinking, hey, we got 1 green flag pit stop. But if you really pick up on what Ricky LaFleur has done in the past few years, he is known for doing things like that. And Adam, he went along with him, and Kime and a few others tried as well. The 99 led, I don't know, the final 20-so laps. We were all thinking, this is Ricky LaFleur's race to lose. But while others pitted, there was, I believe, 3 or 4 drivers that stayed out. Davey Allison was one of them as well, and that's not what happened there, Phoenix.
No. Some of us had some trouble, and unfortunately, Wade and I weren't in the mix. We got caught a lap down, but we ended up behind the leaders a lap down, coming to the end of the race, and it was Adam, Ron, Ricky LaFleur, who we love how big his gas tank gets on these situations. And Davey Allison ended up getting together and waiting and fighting for the lead. Coming down there, it was very sedate up until that last lap, pretty much, and there was a lot of action at the end, and Adam just edged Ron out with Davey Allison getting the short end of the stick in that.
He made his move coming to 2 to go, and a lot of people always think you make it too early. Because we saw Bean do the same thing tonight. But Adam held him off, and he won by 22 one-thousandth of a second. And Adam talked in the pre-race. He didn't feel like he had the best truck. He had never won a truck race. Went winless last year in his rookie campaign in the truck series. And boom, starts the 2024 season off in victory lane. That's so cool. I love to see that, Phoenix.
Yeah, Mystic loves new winners, first-time winners. He loves that. Cool. And it was a great race down at the end there. You know, the rest of us wish we were in it, but it came down to the 3 of them. We went with the gas mileage route and made it work, which was pretty interesting too. We had 57 green flag laps, and then we had 2 quick cautions at the beginning, which is what probably made everybody like, well, it's close, but is it close enough? And we're running ×1 this year, so it was like, well I know what I do on ×2, but what would I do on ×1?
Ricky and Adam picked up on it right when we went to green. Kime did not. He started saving right before halfway into the run, which is why he ran out of fuel with coming to the white flag.
Yeah.
And that's why. But he still finished third.
Well, sometimes Kime is slow on the pickup. That was. I love you, Kime.
Kime,
he's cursing me.
If it's a fuel mileage race, Kime has to my knowledge, 1 fuel mileage win in MRL, and it's that truck race. What did he win? Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So
he
if
did a
it's
great
time
job
saving
there.
fuel, you can usually bet your odds that he will run out.
Yeah.
Respectfully. But
Yes.
Adam won it on
Or
Tuesday
tires.
night, and Ricky LaFleur was second. Kime still coasted to third. Davey Allison, you're probably asking where he went. He had contact with the lead vehicle, and he went around there on the last lap into the inside wall. We hate to see that, but it was a racing deal.
Yeah, we reviewed that. I watched it like 10 times or more. I was just like, what happened? I was last in line, and I saw some stuff starting to happen. You know, they were fighting for the lead. They were too wide at that point. And I went to the outside. Wade was in front of me, and I didn't exactly know what Wade was doing, but as soon as I went to the outside, I was outside of Wade, which I didn't expect. And Wade later told me that he had let out of the gas because he didn't want to get involved, because I guess he saw what I was seeing. And the next thing you know, Davey Allison is flying left, and it's Adam and Ron at the
Gaming
checkers.
Legend, the winner of the first stage, he was fourth. Story Square rounded out the top 5. Now Wade Gaming, the winner of stage 2, he finished 11th. Other highlights, we had one driver that did not finish. That was HT3, lagged out on lap 5. The drivers that did not qualify for that race were Curdy, Shady Acres, Wildman, and Spence. But we had a great time. The cool stat that I like about the Truck Series, unlike the 500 and the Xfinity Series for the opening races at Daytona, we have ran the Truck Series opener at Daytona 5 years. We've had 5 different winners now with Adam. That's really, really cool.
Yep.
A very neat stat.
Yep.
The Truck Series will head their next race, I believe. I don't think the Truck Series runs Phoenix next week. The Truck Series, give me 1 second, I'll tell you. I have it right here. The Truck Series, their next race is in 2 weeks. They are off next week. They will be back in action the following Tuesday, February 13th, for the California 270 at Auto Club Speedway, which is hard
Auto
to
Club.
believe. It's now a fantasy track in real life.
Yep.
Very hard. That almost makes
You
me
sent me
choke up.
that. You sent me those pictures, right? Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I love
very
that
sad
track.
To see. But Truck Series will not be in action next week at Phoenix, where the Xfinity and Cup cars will be. But we'll be back with some truck racing February 13th at California. But that's really what we've been up to this week. Let's look at what we have lying ahead. Tomorrow night, well, technically tonight now if you are on the East Coast, we got some Xfinity action. The Xfinity Series season
First
opener.
time on the track. First time on the track.
Now, what's going to be a little sketchy about the Xfinity Series, they are the fastest vehicles now under Mystic Racing League sanction. They are the fastest vehicles. They are the you want to say slickest vehicles now, because now
Aero-wise.
the truck vehicles and the next gen cars, they basically like glued to the ground. We're gonna hop in the Xfinity vehicles and we're gonna be sliding we're gonna be like in go-karts. But the Xfinity cars, we run normal draft. It'll be normal draft at the super speedways. It'll actually be normal draft for the whole year this year, which is a cool change that a lot of people probably will realize it's a better change this year once we get down the line. But we start 18 drivers tonight at Daytona, at 2 more than the truck race. So
And we've raced normal before, so it's
Exactly,
just
exactly.
we switched it to high last year, so we're coming back to it this year.
that race tonight will be 120 laps. The stages will be 30, 30, and 60. 30, 30, and 60 for the stages tonight. Should be a fun race. The Xfinity Series is always a fun race, and just like the Daytona 500 Phoenix, I believe we've only had 2 winners all time in that race.
That is true, since you had me look it up and confirm it more than once.
And
Yes.
You are a 2-time winner in that race, but you've been winless the last 2 years.
Yes. I've been on the to get down to the end there, and I can't stay up front at the end. You know, stuff happens, and but who did win the last 2 years in a row?
So Phoenix was the winner of the Xfinity Series season opener at Daytona in 2020 and 2021. Kime won the Xfinity Series season opener in 2022 and last year in 23. So we only had 2 winners. So if history is moving along with itself, we should have an all-new winner this year. Or unless Phoenix or Kime wants to decide who's going to break the tie this year.
Yeah.
But like I said, the Xfinity race, we've had wild races, we've had calm races. It just depends which side of the coin gets flipped this time around.
Yeah.
But let's look at our roster for the Xfinity Series, and let's give a little preview here. Like I said, this doesn't determine much, but we got a lot more rookies this year. As far as people signed up, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 drivers that have registered in the Xfinity Series. Like I said, the chances of them all showing up, very slim, but still, that's still a good group.
It's happened before, though, where we've had these races at the beginning of the year at Daytona, and we've just had a ton of people show up.
So, what's your expectations for tonight? Do you think it's going to be one of the more calmer Xfinity races to kick off a new year? Or do you think we'll have another, fireworks show, if you will?
Well, you know how I feel about predicting stuff. We've actually got into some interesting discussions about it. But, we're faster. This is going to be the fastest that we'll be running at Daytona. And we got a lot of new guys, which is not a bad thing. It just means that we don't know each other, as well as like I know Kime and I know you and Wade and Chad and how we race on the track, or what we're looking to do, and so on and so forth. But you know what? It's the first race of the season, and a lot of times people try new things anyway. So you're looking to see how it's going to pan out when you get into the race. So to me, it's a wait and see, and definitely survive to be there at the end, because that's the only, again, Daytona, just like Talladega as well. It's the only way you got a shot is if you're up front at the end, or close to it.
It's definitely going to be a different ball game. I know I have to get some practice in because I'm not used to going over 200 miles per hour by myself yet. Usually I have to do it being in a 10-car draft.
Oh, that's okay. You can get behind me. I'll lead the way.
So it'll be a bit of unique experience. I have to get used to myself again. But 120 laps tonight. Don't miss it. If you can't be in the race, make sure to watch it live. Green flag is at 8:30 Eastern Time. The chat will open up at 7 Eastern Time. We'll have group qualifying, all that good stuff.
Why 7?
You say why 7?
Yeah, normally we only open up the chat about an hour before green flag time, but...
we opened it up at 90 minutes before on Tuesday as well.
Yes, but for the people who don't know...
Oh, you're asking, you're making me say.
Yeah,
for the season openers, since it's always a little crowded, we tend to have that 30-minute buffer. Once we get the first few races in, then it'll be an hour before the races.
Sometimes it takes a little extra time to get everybody on the same page.
But chat will open up at 7 Eastern Time, and green flag is scheduled to roll at 8:30 Eastern Time. 120 laps, 300 miles. The title of the race is The Beef It's What's for Dinner 300 at Daytona. The NASCAR Xfinity Series tonight for Mystic Racing League. Round 1 should be a lot of fun. I'm excited. Looking forward to it. I am the defending champion, so I have to look forward to it, right?
Yep.
I have to defend my ground, if you will.
Mystic wins too,
I win.
Good racer.
I win every time the groundhog sees a shadow.
Or a leap year. It's a leap year this year.
It's a leap year.
But we run good together at Daytona in all the series. We were there. We saw the first season, second season. Now we're up to our 5th season. I'm just looking forward to, now that I know what the name of the race is, that when we review the race, we could ask where the beef was.
That's right. It's going to be somewhere between someone. but I think that's a good title for the race. It's got a hidden meaning to us.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But So many things I could have said. But
I'm being nice.
But I lost my train of thought. Anyways, if you can't join us in the race tonight, make sure you do watch the stream. It should be a lot of fun. Should be action-packed as always. And then we get a few days off. Friday we're off. Saturday we're off to get our minds right. And Sunday, we got the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. And Phoenix, I know that's the one that everyone is counting on. Now we know who's in the field. We went through the starting lineup. 24 drivers. 200 laps, 500 miles. I don't know where to start. You know how these races go. We've had calm races every single year, exciting races every single year, except last year. Last year was a little bit of a rough one, but this year we have had a really good group, and I believe we are in, probably in my opinion, my honest opinion, probably the best one yet.
Well, the 22 car for the 500 makes, adds a twist to everybody's plan, strategy, how it's going to play out, because the car does handle differently than the Gen 6 car handled in Cup, and it handles differently than the Xfinity and the truck. You asked me the other day, speed-wise, which is faster, when I was turning some laps in the truck, and I was like, well, the truck runs about as fast by itself, but in a pack, the truck actually can get faster than the Cup car at times, but lap times don't reflect it. But they're close. So when we go down and throw the green flag on Sunday, we got all that going for us. The longest race of the week.
It'll be
200
the start
laps
of a new era officially.
Yeah, we got longer stages. We still have, everybody will be vying for that, the top 5 to get points. We're running for the points championship, or just for bragging rights that they finished or won the first and second stages, the Wade brothers. And then we have, the long third stage, which a lot can happen in that stage. I mean, you could literally be laps down and still make it, be on the lead lap, fight for the finish at the win at the end. It's that kind of race. It's the Daytona 500. Every stock car driver wants to win the Daytona 500. So a lot on the line. Going to be exciting.
Excuse me. So we've seen everything happen in this race. The highs, the lows, the goods, the bads, but I'm expecting it all to unfold on Sunday as well. But what does it take to win this race, Phoenix? I know you're still looking for one. I'm still looking for one. But how do you get it done besides patience?
Again, it's a lot of times it's nothing that you can control. Which is my story with the Daytona 500 and MRL. It's, you can check all the right boxes and then get caught up in something and then just be out of it. Too far back, went a lap down, damage, there's 500 different things that can go wrong, and all you're looking for is enough to go right so that you're in the fight at the end instead of, watching, look at the track map. Yeah, wow, they must be having fun up there. But unfortunately, there's going to be people like that, The chance that you're starting, 24 this Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when we start 24, if we have 2/3 of them on the lead lap and in it, it's going to be a spectacle. Going to be something to watch if we have 9 guys fighting for the win at the end, because it's the Daytona 500. It's our Super Bowl, right, in our sport, and even though we're not NASCAR, we are MRL, and we treat it that way. Everybody looks at it that way. So yeah, everybody wants to punch that first ticket win on a new season as well. So there's more on top.
What are your honest expectations for Sunday from any particular driver? You can even add your sleeper picks.
Oh, you asked me to pick. See, this is where we get into arguments. because I'm like,
You just throw me some sleeper picks out there, like dark horse. It don't have to be like that. Wouldn't include Wade, like a dark horse.
I know. But it's super speedway racing, and it's one of those things. If you're not wrecked out and you're in the top, you still only got like maybe at best a 10% shot of actually winning when it comes down to it, because everybody is going for that.
10% is high.
It's well, I'm trying to be nice, so anybody can win the race. I mean, we've had situations like that where people were in position and it just, it worked out that way. It didn't work out that way. We have guys that take the checkered flag and we had to take it away from them. I mean, there's so many things that can happen during a race. But you want me to pick people? Okay. Well, this past week, let's go off some things that just happened. We have Chris, right? That won a Speed Weeks race at Daytona with most of the guys that we'll be racing with on Sunday. We had Chad win a Speed Weeks race, right? We had Story win a Speed Weeks race. We had Ricky LaFleur, or Ron as we like to call him, win a Speed Weeks race. And then we had Wade win a Speed Weeks race. And then we had a brand new winner with Adam on Saturday winning the shootout, which was the same track, just a little bit longer format. So any one of those guys, if he's up front, can win this race, including people like you, Mystic. You've won races at super speedways before. You know how to get it done. So if any of those guys are in position, what's going to happen is we're all going to be going for the same spot, right? Which is what I was kind of alluding to before. It's if all the fast guys who love this kind of racing and get up front, wow. And then we have guys like Parky Plunger. We have guys like I'm just going through the list here. We have guys like David, NASCAR Extreme. He knows how to get it done at these races. There's Grim, Kime. Just look through the field. It's like they're Curdy. There's so many you can pick that can win this race. But I got to give it to Wade, though, as it edges out all of us. Do you think
Wade is still the favorite on Sunday?
He's my favorite because, Wade, he's tenacious. He will work that outside over and over again. And I had the opportunity we both got shuffled back the other night, and he won the race, and I finished second to him. And we started working together. And Wade will pull back in line, go get up there, get a run, get up there. We get almost up there, pull back, try it again, and we did that. I think we were together for like 11 laps. I think we made 10 runs, in those 11 laps, and eventually we broke through and we got up front. And that's how Wade wins a lot of super speedway races. You need that. You need to know how to do it, when to do it, and you need some friends. Those are the things that you're going to need to win that race.
For all the rookies that are making their debut in the 500, and they want to race the whole 500 miles like they have in these 40 laps, or any advice you could give them, what's the best advice you could give them for the 500 miles?
Well, if you are, feel like maybe you don't have, as fast a car, which kind of means a lot less at the super speedway tracks or setup. You don't feel like maybe you're confident enough to, or know how to, or when to do stuff. You know what you do? You follow one of these guys I mentioned, and when they go, you go, and then you'll learn how they do it, and you'll figure it out, kind of thing. Or you can just hang on the bottom and be patient, because I'm all about patience. If I think the best way to win the race is to stay on the bottom, never make a run until the last, like 10 laps or something, I'll do that. It all depends how the race goes, but I'm kind of used to doing this, so I might be looking at it differently than some other people, But yeah, find somebody that you think is good, and do what he does. That can't hurt, right? worst, you'll learn something.
All right. You think the final caution will come inside the final 25 laps or outside?
This year, if you look at like the duels tonight, wasn't it in the shootout and a few of the Speed Weeks races? One of the characteristics I noticed is, even if we had a calm race, we had a late caution because when it's go time, when we get like around 10 to go.
Monday night Speed Weeks race went, and we had a late caution Wednesday night, and that was the only 2 nights we had a late caution in.
But we had a late caution in both duels tonight.
Had both duels, yes. But
yeah, so we're getting closer, and we got more of the guys racing together who are going to be in the Daytona 500. So that's kind of like what I'm feeling. The vibe is we're going to probably have a caution late. I hope we don't, unless I need one. But, I mean, right? I'm looking to win that race too. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had one under 25 to go. Not at all. Or like tonight, the truck race last night, we had 2 quick ones at the start of the 3rd stage, and that was our first, official full points race of the year, right, in the truck series. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the guys are going to be racing Sunday too. So maybe that'll switch things up like it did last night. I don't know. We'll have to see, right?
It's going to be exciting, to say the least. 500 miles, everybody wants to get to the flag first, but to finish first you got to finish, right? Ain't that right, Phoenix?
Absolutely. Survive to the end, and then, pick your point, make your move or moves, and hope for the best.
Well, Phoenix, I appreciate you joining myself on a special midweek episode of MRL Radioactive to cover the events that we've had this week. Tonight's Daytona duels, or technically last night's. Tonight's Xfinity season opener, and this weekend's crown jewel, first crown jewel of the year, the 2024 Daytona 500. I hope you're excited as I am, my friend.
I'm always excited when we go to Daytona. I love Daytona. Whenever anybody asks me, and I seem to get asked a lot, what's your favorite track? What other track is there but Daytona? I know the racing has changed somewhat and may not be what everybody likes, but it's Daytona. It's like Indianapolis for the 500 or the Brickyard. You want to win it. That's the place you want to win at. And I don't have a win. I want to win at Daytona.
Well, everyone, we hope you enjoyed tonight's special midweek episode of MRL Radioactive, getting you up to date on everything Mystic Racing League. Like we said, congratulations to our dual winners tonight. Our 2024 Daytona 500 lineup is set. We are ready to go, but first, we have some Xfinity action coming at you tonight. Green flag at 8:30 Eastern Time. Join us right here on Mystic Racing League, and we will see you Sunday afternoon at 1:30 Eastern Time for the 2024 Daytona 500. We hope everyone has a great rest of your week. We appreciate every single one of you, even our haters. Good night, everyone.